Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining me. Before we get started, please click subscribe to my channel to keep up with all of my latest investing and personal finance content. And check out the link you see on your screen for a message from our sponsor, The Motley Fool, where you can get the top 10 stocks to buy right now. So, this shouldn't come as a big surprise considering how poorly the stock market's done. But the average IRA balance has declined quite a bit in 2022. A recent report by Fidelity found that the average balance at an IRA that they hold is down about 25% year over year. That's a little more than the overall stock market, but it's not a gigantic difference. The average 401k or the average IRA balance at Fidelity is currently $102,000. That's spread among all age groups. So if you if you're older, the average is a little bit more than that. If you're relatively new at getting started or just getting started in your investment career, your the average balance in your age group is probably significantly lower. So keep that in mind. If you don't have $102,000 in your IRA and you're young, it's not necessarily a bad thing. An encouraging statistic: there are now 11% more IRAs than there were just a year ago. So people are getting more serious about saving for retirement, um, but it's still a scary time. First of all, knowing what not to do is just as important as knowing what to do. So, what not to do: do not panic, don't cash out your IRA. Um, it's our instinct when the markets fall and the markets kind of plunge like they have recently. It's our instinct to go ahead and get out before things get any worse. That's literally the opposite of what you should be doing as an investor. The goal of investing, it's pretty common knowledge, is to buy low and sell high. By cashing out in a down market, you're doing the exact opposite. So it's not a time to panic, not a time to move your money to cash, and it's not a good time to make big investment changes unless you have a really good reason to do so. Now, there are good reasons to say make your account more conservative, get out of the high growth stocks or whatever, and rotate into basic index funds, into fixed income investments, things like that. Just because the market went down is not a good reason to sell all by itself. Reasons to shift your investment allocation include things like you're getting closer to retirement, so you want more income from your portfolio. So you might shift toward income and like dividend stocks. That would be a good reason to move. But don't make any big changes unless you have a really good reason to. And then what to do: it's a good time to think about increasing your contribution rate. And hear me out on this. So for 2023, the IRA contribution limit is increasing by $500 to $6,500 for people under 50. And if you're 50 or older, it's actually $1,000 more. It'll be $7,500 in 2023. And even if you haven't made a ton of contributions in 2022, because I understand a lot of people are hurting right now, you have until April 15th, 2023 to make your 2022 contributions. So there's a lot of room to add to your account. And the reason I say to do this is because right now the stock market is down, as you know. Historically speaking, when the stock market's down by about 20%, like it is right now, it's a great time to put money to work for the long term. Just as an example, let's say you bought a basic S&P 500 index fund when the market dropped by 20% in 2008 when the financial crisis hit. It ended up going down even more, but let's say you bought when the market was down 20% from the highs. That investment, if you had just left it alone for the 14 years or so since then, you would have more than quadrupled your money. You would have been up by about 320% today. So it's a great time to look for investments that make great long-term choices, say index funds like the one I just mentioned, blue chip dividend stocks, things like that. It's a great time to find investments that are trading at a discount that you would love to hold long term. I know the market environment can be scary right now, but as a long term investor, especially if you're a decade or more away from retirement, you should look at this as an opportunity, not as a scary time. Once again, thank you so much for joining me. Be sure to click subscribe if you don't subscribe to my channel already. And as always, this video is sponsored by The Motley Fool. Be sure to visit www.fool.com/Frankel to receive the top 10 best stocks to buy now.